Okay, so I've been meaning to do this for a while. I figured today is as good a day as any. Do a quick walk around on my 2020 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon build. Now, if you follow me, you're probably pretty familiar with this Jeep. Call it the tent Jeep. That got that name from how it was set up pretty soon after I got it. I had a rooftop tent on the back and the kids just called it the tent Jeep quite simply, and the name stuck. As you see it now, obviously it's a lot different. I bought this thing stock, did not intend to ever go as crazy as it's gotten, but here we are. I'm gonna do a more in-depth video on kind of really how it all came together, but I figured I'd do a quick walk around since I do get a lot of questions and it's changed a lot over the years. If you want to know something specific about maybe the suspension or the bed, I have done videos on that. Most of it I've covered through Driving Line. I work as their senior off-road editor. I've been there with those guys since like 2015, and other people may know me from the magazine world where I worked at Peterson 4 Wheel Off-Road, JP Magazine, four-wheeler, a whole bunch of mostly off-road books. So let's start with the thing that gets the most questions, and that is, yes, it no longer has the factory bed. This flatbed conversion, it comes from Mitts Alloy. They are an Australian company, and it's a really cool setup. I've got a canopy that bolts to the back. It is really designed for people that overland, and I'm not much of an overlander. This sort of came to be the guys at Mule Expeditions. I had a friend working there, and he had said, hey man, we're starting to get these flatbeds. I know you keep beating up your regular Gladiator bed. Are you interested in getting something like this? And I was like, yeah, this might work out really well. I've done some modifications to it over the years. Wheeling it, I have found, because the headache bar, or actually it's not there anymore, the original one stuck out so far, it was catching on trees. And so ended up chopping this part off, and it's pretty low profile. You can still put the regular bed on the back, you can still put the canopy on the back and it looks fine. But this is kind of how I have it set up for wheeling. It's a really nice bed. It's a little heavier than I'd like it to be, even though it's all made of aluminum. The fenders we had to custom make. U-Joint Off-Road actually did all of that aluminum work. They're just some buddies of mine that they specialize in Ford E-Series vans, but I happened to be there after I left AVO putting this on. They're like, yeah, we can chop this up and make this look nice. So that's what they did, and this is how it's been for quite a while now. So this is fairly recent, but everything else has basically been set up like that. This Jeep, as you see, has got some good scratches and dents. It actually gets wheeled quite a bit. It's been on the Rubicon Trail, it's been in Moab, it's been to Windrock half a dozen times, Uwharrie probably hundreds of times at this point, because that's pretty close to me here in Wilmington, North Carolina. All right, let's go over some of the, I guess, really things I get asked a lot about. What's the suspension now? It's gone a few different ways. It is currently set up with, these are Rock Crawler 4.5 springs, and they're the Rock Crawler Adventure Series control arms. So these have the Adventure Series joints, fantastic flex. I really like how it works. Haven't had an issue with them. Haven't had the suspension on here, but I don't know, probably 6 or 7 months now. I think that's about right. And I'm very happy with it. Nothing weird. It's got the Fox 3.0s. These things are fantastic. Thing I like about them is they work really well. High speed and low speed compression, big fan of that. Thing I don't like about them is these giant stupid hoses that are always either getting too close to my tire or I'm hitting them there. I hate this hose configuration. Really wish I could move those somehow. That's really my only complaint about that. Ride quality, suspension wise, it's been perfectly fine. This thing unfortunately has been sitting outside for the past, 2 months. Usually is garage kept, so I'm trying to do my best to keep it from getting too rusty. Flares, I split years ago in the, so I knew I was going to 40's. This lighting kit here that you can tell the fenders, it's been off-road a little bit. This comes from Rugged Ridge. This is like part of their fender chop kit. Here's a better representation of what it should look like. That fender's gotten pushed a little bit off-road. Rugged Ridge front bumper, Rugged Ridge winch. Pretty good setup. It's a really lightweight bumper. I still like it. I wish I could chop it, at least get rid of this part and go a little bit more high clearance. One of the reasons that that's next to impossible right now is because the reservoirs hang so down and they'll just really be unprotected. So for now, I'm going to keep it as it is. These lights, these are actually covers, and the lights come from GG Lighting. They give you like multiple covers. My son just likes green, so we keep the green ones on there. They work fine at night. The axles, so I've got a Dynatrac Pro Rock XD60 front. Obviously it's matching Pro Rock XD60 rear as well. I didn't do the 80. I didn't really feel like I was going to need it. Didn't plan on doing a V8 swap or anything, so I've been happy with this. These are 72.5 inches wide with 5.5 inches of back spacing, so it's actually not crazy wide. I did change the steering to hydraulic assist from PSC, so you can see my ram up there, still using the Dynatrac mount that, you know, has it pretty tucked up. This is the same Steer Smarts bar that came with it, same tie rod that came with it. It's been hit and dragged and all over the Rubicon and Moab, and it's still holding strong. I'm not going to pretend I'm some like extreme rock crawler, but I wheel quite frequently, and you know, this thing is definitely you know, been used. Everything seems to be working fine, no issues with the hubs, that type of stuff. I mean, one of the bad parts about high back spacing is this hub face is like right here with the wheel, so it gets damaged from time to time, but never been an issue where I gotta really sweat it. Still running the factory sliders. I'll show you a little bit more on the other side. They're damaged, they're bent in some spots. Hasn't really messed up the body, but you know, that's just, I've been like, well, I'm gonna mess them up one day, then I'll put some real sliders on, but haven't really destroyed them yet, so not that big of a deal. For those asking the other day, this is how the gas set up. This was kind of custom. Mitts actually didn't send us anything. I don't know if it was just a mistake or what, so U-Joint built all this. This is a water tank, really great for going out to the beach and that type of stuff. The drive shaft under here, let me get this thing set up where you can actually see it, is from JE Reel. Now, it's the same drive shaft that's been in here since I did the 1-ton swap, and it's got 1350 double carbon joint. It's been fantastic. I haven't had a single issue. It's got a 1350 front drive shaft, hadn't been an issue. Obviously, you can see high clearance arms from rock crawler in the back. Same adventure style joints, works really well. Fox 3.0s back here. Look, why can't they just attach the resi, you know, to the body like they do in the back and the front? Then everybody'd be happy. A lot easier. Nothing too crazy. I chopped the exhaust a long time ago when I did the original 1-ton swap. I can't remember why I had to, but either way, that's what I did. Got rid of where it hangs down in the back. It could probably be done nicer, but I don't know. It's been fine. Don't have a rear sway bar, mostly because I damaged the links over here. You can see this thing split, and I'll probably do an anti-rock one day, but for right now it's not bad, especially when you don't have the canopy on the back. It's not that heavy where you like really feel the sway. It's got an ARB in the back now and 538 gears, both obviously 538, but it didn't originally have an ARB. It originally had an Eaton, and I broke it in Moab, drove home, put another Eaton in it, went and did the Rubicon Trail. For me, that was basically a 6,200 mile trip in 10 days. Came home, went and did another wheeling trip with my daughter, and it broke then. So I came home basically just furious with that Eaton setup, got rid of it, put an ARB, have not had a problem with the ARB. If I had to order these axles again, I would have just put ARBs in it, front and rear. I just was like, I don't want to worry about, you know, leaks and that type of thing. So I thought I was doing the right thing with going with Eaton. Apparently that wasn't the case. It's set up as you can see right now, lots of up travel, so you can, you know, go pretty decently, like not like I live in the desert, but you know, going in the beach. And my buddy's got a farm we can drive pretty fast with, so you can go a few places and go pretty quick. Not a lot of interior mods and changes. I did I think it's now a bullet point or bulletproof, I don't know, they've changed their names I feel like a couple times. That for the phone and like the GoPro mount. Up there in the corner on the A pillar, I have a switch panel from, I think it's VL. This is like their VL 400. So that's what controls my lockers. The sway bar is one of those Evo no limit ones, so I don't actually have like a button inside anymore. I can just do it anytime. I don't think there's a ton of other mods. I feel like I probably oversimplified my bed conversion here. It actually is a like full bolt-on deal. The leg kind of comes off here a little bit. The hitch and all this stuff, this was custom made by U-Joint. It gave me like another 9 inches of clearance over where a factory receiver would have been. So this has been fantastic for that. These boxes on the side are awesome. They give you just nice room for storage for straps and things like that. They seal really well. This thing's a little disgusting from sitting outside. This has a full, I think it's a 5-foot drawer back here. So you got plenty of room. If we're gonna go to the beach, we can put beach chairs in here. On the trail, I got plenty of room for my air compressor, tools, all that good stuff. I actually have these waterproof bags that we put on the very back of the truck for when we go on trips, and I've got to like take the kids and all their stuff. That works out really well. So yeah, the flatbed, probably not the most practical upgrade. With the canopy on the back, it's more practical. The problem is the canopy is just honestly very heavy, and that's why I don't keep it on the back as much, and I like how it looks with the flatbed a little bit better. So I don't know, maybe if I had to do it again because of what I do, maybe the canopy really wouldn't have been that big of a bonus, but for the most part, man, this Jeep's been really good. And so I don't know, wanted to do a quick walk around. If you got any questions, I think I pointed out, I mean, really, it's funny when you start getting down to it, like it's modded, but it's not crazy modded. I did split, I think I bought these from Artec, these fender flares. I wanted to try to get some of the heat out. I had to cut right here. I also cut the slider here for the 40 to clear. I did that originally when it only had like 3 inches of lift. So I don't really get as close to the rubbing right now. So that's really the kind of setup of this thing. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you want to see more adventures and stuff that I'm doing on this thing, kind of behind the scenes, you can check me out on basically all social things at Ollie Mansour Editor. So I appreciate you guys watching and hope to see you guys on the trail. All right, see ya.